Hi, everybody, and welcome to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester Community Connection. My name is SuSanity Life. I'm the host here at Unity Radio. Super excited to be here. What a day today. Oh, my goodness. Like, I was driving here, running late because I left my phone at home. Hello. I always do that. For some reason, I always leave without my phone. I don't know why, because my phone is always with me, right? So I'm on my way here, and I'm excited to be here to invite Ginnie Bonnici. Bonnici? How you say your last name?
Bonnici.
Bonnici. Sorry, Bonnici. On my show from Peaceful Creations. So Ginnie is the co-owner of Peaceful Creation with her sister, Becky. And I met Ginnie in a weird way we're going to talk about, but I want her to introduce herself really quick and tell you who she is, and then we're going to kind of go through the show.
You know, I'm the co-founder of Peaceful Creations, but before that, I was a postmaster. I had many different roles in my life, but right now the biggest thing is Peaceful Creations, trying to bring out holistic therapies instead of all the other treatments that seem to be out there. But I used many of them specifically for my son with autism. And that's kind of what brought me to that field. It wasn't where I planned to be. It was where I landed.
Yeah.
That's what I say to people.
What's interesting is that Ginnie and I both do very similar things, but we're both different. And I met Ginnie through a friend of mine, Bonnie. Hey, Bonnie, from a new body sequence.
Hi, Bonnie.
She's a yoga master, and she's a Reiki teacher, and she's a musical therapist, and she's just truly, truly amazing. And I went to Polka Dot.
Oh, that's right, a polka dot meeting.
I went to a polka dot meeting, and polka dot was like it's a collaboration of a bunch of women mostly that we get together and just have this awesome time together. And I loved it. I thought it was great. I didn't end up signing up because I had so much going on in my life at the time, but I did love it. And that's how we met. And when I walked into her space in Shrewsbury, I knew, like, when you meet someone and you just have this feeling, I knew. I mean, she had this beautiful space with these drums and just amazing things. And just her kindness and compassion and just willingness to like listen and be present was just so apparent. And so that's how we met.
It is how we met. Yeah. It was wonderful to, when many of them, the women came in who they call themselves the woo, that polka dot. It was wonderful to be able to express and see the beauty of all the different types of people that were healers on so many different levels, servicing humanity in such a way that you were like, I realize this is different, but it's working. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. Mm-hmm. And then being able to share in that sisterhood the various types of community and healing and say, well, wait a minute, there is a place here where, when guided the right way, we can help so many in the community.
But then it gets deeper because Ginnie is very much into God, everything she does. And so am I. And so when I was at the polka dot meeting, she gave me a sheet. I hope I still have it. It's somewhere in my house. I lose everything. But she gave me this beautiful sheet of like words from the angels. Remember you gave me that?
I often receive communication.
Yeah. And so when I read it, I was like, oh my goodness. And then we talked to each other after that. And I just went and had this amazing foot detox with her.
Yes.
And I had a bunch of stuff that came out of my feet, which was nonetheless then really disgusting, but it was still there. But then we had a conversation about something that just recently happened to me in my life. And then something happened to her. And it was like we were on the same trajectory at the same time at that moment. And I was like, this is just amazing. And you told me how you were a Eucharistic minister and that you read
I'm a lector.
Yeah.
In homebound people I serve communion to.
Yeah.
I have a lot of different responsibilities, and I always feel that God starts my day. It's you wake up, the breath is, thank you, God. I have my breath, right?
Yeah.
And then the next thing is rosary. After that is church. And generally, rosary is more about meet my mother, Mary, right? I have a very personal connection to her.
Yeah.
And I feel I often think, where would we be had she said no?
Oh, I never thought that actually.
Oh, I think that way. Like when my day starts and I do
if she
that,
said no to
if
being
she had
the
said
mother
no
of,
to being the mother of Jesus Christ, where would we be? Like, because if God gives you free will, think about this for a minute. God gives us free will.
Mhm.
If she had said no, what would have happened to God's plan?
I have no idea.
And would you really want to know?
No,
Ask yourself that question, right?
no.
Like when somebody, that plan was 700 years in the making.
Mhm.
And it came to that moment of her fiat where she says, let it be done according to your word. Okay, I don't even know if I could do that.
Well, and that goes back, right. And so that's why when I was with you and we were talking about that program that I was going to be involved in at the church that I was attending at the time, I wanted really to do that. And I think deep down that I probably wasn't supposed to. Even my son, Michael, who's very intuitive, and I've been doing Reiki energy on him since he was 16 years old, and he's doing wonderfully. And he had told me, he's like, he didn't think I should do it, but I was like, you know what? Well, I'm being drawn to it for some reason. So I'm going to try it. And then I find out that religion as a whole doesn't believe in praying to Mother Mary. So I was like, now I've been going. So at that church specifically, I'm not going to say the name, but I started there in 16, left for a while because something didn't feel right. Then I went back again in 19, and I've been going there ever since but I didn't even know that until I was going to join that. Like, I didn't know that. I don't know how I didn't know that, because my mother is like you. My mother had statues of Mother Mary all over the house. She wears her jewelry, like everything she wears is blue for Mother Mary. You know what I mean? But I didn't understand that, and I don't know how. So when you just said that, I was like, I don't know how people don't understand her. Like there would be no Jesus without her,
exactly,
and there would be no men without women. So exactly how is that not like?
And you have to. Somebody says to me all the time when I meet with this group of women, you have to respect the womb you came from.
Yeah.
That's for every person on this planet. And when you understand that Mary is the greatest intercessor, and you know this, I'm going to ask you this one question. And just for a minute, not that you are, but if somebody needed something from your son, you would want them to come ask you. You're his mother.
Of course I would.
Exactly. So Mary, as an intercessor, brings all of our concerns to her son. How could you not respect her? How could I adore her? And it's an understanding of gratitude from such a deep place, right? And I know Jesus Christ at such a different level than, my experiences throughout the years I've been blessed with many with him, right? And I can tell you this I think I would say it from a cellular level. Every time it's like when a mother looks at their child, do you not see him and her in him? Right?
Yeah.
And when you think about Mary's fleeing, Mary's persistence, Mary does it anyway. Joseph protects her. She was going to be stoned to death. Like, when you think about that, right? And you think they made it out of Egypt, they got all the way to everywhere they went. I mean, Herod wanted him dead. I mean, think about this for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Think about the journey that woman took to save the savior of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
How you could not understand her or adore her. I'm not saying worship. I'm saying understand from a compassionate human being level what she went through.
And that's why I couldn't understand the dynamic of that at that church. And I had no idea until I went to sign up for this program that they don't talk to her, they don't pray to her, they don't believe in, they believe in her, but they don't believe that it was her role that gave Jesus what he had, so that they only talk and pray to Jesus. That's it.
Okay, so let me be clear about something. Have you ever had a child? I've had a child.
Me too.
And we know one thing in carrying children. Genetically, you know the work and effort that goes into that.
Yeah.
Now, I've had a pregnancy lost, and I have two beautiful children by God's grace, because it was only a 5% chance I'd ever be pregnant. So I know God wanted them here, right? That's how that happens. Yeah. Can you imagine?
No. So this is why we're having this conversation today. You may or may not resonate with this, and that's okay. But somebody has to say something about the truth about femininity, about the divine feminine, about the whole part of Mary, the whole part of femininity, the whole part of being a mom, and how much we give to our children, even after they're grown and out the house, what we're giving, right? So this is Unity Radio, 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. This is the SuSanity Life show. My name is SuSanity Life. I'm the host here with Ginnie Bonnici. I'll get it right.
Yo, don't worry.
From Peaceful Creations. And we'll be right back.
Hey, this is Ricky Duran, and you're listening to Unity Radio, 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection.
Everyone has a community, a neighborhood, school, kids' teams, where you worship, work out, or any other place or group where you choose to belong. Communities can provide support when you need it, and even when you don't know you do. Like when it comes to preventing underage drinking and other substance use. Community members can be your eyes and ears when you're not with your kids and alert you to signs of potential problems. Learn more at talktheyhearyou.samhsa.gov.
Boston and Worcester, get ready for one of the biggest Ghana U.S. business and cultural experiences during the FIFA World Cup season. Join us for the Ghana, Worcester, Boston Trade and Investment Exchange 2026, happening June 24th and 25th, bringing together government officials, investors, businesses, entrepreneurs, diaspora organizations, and community leaders from Ghana and the United States. Day 1, June 24th at Hyatt Regency Boston. The Ghana Boston Trade and Investment Summit will feature powerful B2B and B2G networking sessions. Special guests include Ghana's ambassador to the United States. Day 2, June 25th, Worcester Common. The energy moves to Worcester for the Ghana Worcester Trade Fair, a free public event filled with food vendors, products, shopping, culture, entertainment, networking, and community engagement. This is where business, culture, diaspora, and opportunity come together. Learn more at heritagetriage.com/events.
Tune into the SuSanity Life with SuSanity Life. And together, we will find our way to a healthier, healing lifestyle by listening to empowering stories of overcoming our struggles. Join me, SuSanity Life, on the SuSanity Life every Wednesday from 5 to 6 on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. See you soon.
What's up, Central Mass? This is Angelo Gray, and we want to thank you for all your support. And you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to WUTY 97.9 Unity Radio, Worcester's Community Connection. This is the SuSanity Life show, and I am your host, SuSanity Ouellette, and the owner of SuSanity in Sturbridge. It's a holistic health and wellness clinic. I'm here with Ginnie Bonnici from Peaceful Creations. We were just talking about Mary, Mother Mary, and how I don't think that in general people put enough emphasis onto what you just said, you know. And when my clients come, maybe you do this too, when my clients come to the clinic and they're moms and they're going through different things with their children, of course, I start thinking different things because I have 3 kids and you have the 2 and stuff like that. But about what happens to us as women when we get pregnant, when we go through the whole process of carrying the child,
And delivery.
at the end, the birth itself. Then when you have the baby, it's almost like they take a part of your soul, your mind, your body, and every single part of you that you have to find your way back to once again or something. But in a good way.
I try to think of it as a gifting.
Okay.
From
Yes.
one human to the human that came, right? I think of
Yes.
it more of as a gifting, right?
Yeah.
And my early childhood experiences were very rough. Okay. And I will tell you, when I became pregnant for the second time with my daughter Emily, I was horrified that I was going to bring this pregnancy was going to happen, and I was going to bring a child into this world, and I had no mother. Right? And I hear, but you have Mary. And then I was afraid also that I would repeat any of my mother's patterns. No, I
know. I believe me.
it was tough growing up that way. And really, I look at it now as a gift of like being forged in the fire, which made me grow. It made me change into who I was. Right? So now all of a sudden this child is coming, and I'm like, okay, somebody hold my hand. You have your spouse, but I felt that I needed, and I was blessed actually, because I was given her middle name by Jesus. And also for my son, the same thing happened, because I was praying and praying to him and going, how can I do this? How can I can't bring a child in the second time with pain and fear being all present. It's not fair to that creation that I'm blessed with.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to me, fear not, my sister. And I knew the minute I heard it, it was like, fear not, my sister. Give her the middle name of Joy. She will be named after the angel that announced my birth to the shepherds in the field. And she's called Emily Joy. Like, when I told that story to people, they were like, are you kidding me? I'm like, no, I absolutely followed it. I was so grateful to not be. It was blissful and a blessing, right? And then I'm there and I'm in the process of like, you're going to the classes, and, I'm like, what will the pain be like? Like, what's the right position? All the millions of questions. Will I be able to breastfeed? Like, there was, but I have to tell you something. Every step of the way, and I mean this throughout my entire life, I have been blessed with the right person being there for me at the right time to give me instruction and guide me.
Mm-hmm.
And that really, I don't, across many different scenarios in my life, but that comfort of Mother Mary holding my hand during labor, and like it was almost like her hand on your face, like, okay, it's gonna be okay. And not in the absence of my earthly mother, right? To have that comfort
Mm-hmm.
is so precious.
It is precious.
I'm kind of saddened in some ways that others don't have that experience, but that always reminds me too that I can step up to the plate and help.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, okay, so if somebody's having, okay, can I come help? How can I help you with that? And let God's hands and feet be worked through me today and do what I can do every moment. And I'm grateful. It wasn't like that for me when I was younger, but I learned.
What do you mean? It wasn't like.
So it wasn't like
God,
I
you
was
did go to church. I mean, you went to.
No,
I thought you went to Catholic school.
I ended up no, when I was younger, right? So my mother was everywhere with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it that way.
Okay.
And when I tell you I attended temple,
yes, temple.
okay,
Yeah.
I attended AME, Zion, Lutheran, Baptist. Oh, I was everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. And then you
Except Catholic,
Yeah.
right? Because now my mother marries for like the third time.
And that's when you got
and his parents say you have to be Roman Catholic. I'm like, what is that? Like, right? I kid you not, I used to go into various temples and churches because it was the only place I could find solace.
Yeah.
It didn't matter what denomination at all. What mattered was the comfort and peace, because it was the only time I didn't hear yelling and screaming and craziness. Absolute. And I was grateful that no matter where I went, I always felt that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I and even now when I've been to other places, I think I would always say that now when I look back, that, wow, God is an awesome God. Like everywhere I went, he had me. Like, like he held my hand. You know, I remember, it was, I was probably 8, right? And I don't know how I came across the book. Somebody gave me this book. It was all about Joan of Arc. And I was so upset, right? Because my mother had like permed my hair and it was ruined. So she had to give me like a page boy haircut, right?
Oh, I remember.
And
those.
I remember that Halloween, like I had this book and I'm like, oh, who's Joan of Arc? Oh, I took one of the sheets that I wasn't supposed to take and I ripped it up and I put a big thing across. I painted it in red marker and I took a box and I had a sword and I had a shield and I was like, look, I'm Joan of Arc. You know, like, you know, it's interesting to me because like those moments, like that moment that was given to me was probably a priceless moment of courage. That to me was a story of courage. And when I found out that there was someone like Joan of Arc who had courage, who went through so much, I could say, well, I can do it. You know, like, what is this? Like, and I was 8, right? But I ended up being the oldest of 7. I was constantly responsible for a large. Yep. So, you know, and then you become the provider because, you know, they're not there.
You get your first job when you're like 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And now you're buying everything for you. Yeah, it's
and then and then all of a sudden you're told you're going to become Roman Catholic. And then it was interesting because I love the Sisters of Mercy, but they came to our home, which you would never hear of today. They came, I remember Sister Martina, like she'd knock on the door and Sister Rita would be there and, hi, we're here for your Saturday morning lesson. I'm like, my mom's still asleep. Okay, come in, you know, and then we'd sit there and we'd listen and, you know, you're formed there, but it's not, it didn't sink in. Like I was grateful because I learned prayers. I learned about Mass. I learned about Jesus as the Savior, right? And I always see that, like that cross. When I see the cross, I don't see suffering. I see humility and love. Undeniable love. I don't know one person on this planet who would do that act in quiet, humble humility. And all because he loves you. He loves you. He loves me. Like me. Who am I? Like I used to look at that and go, why would he love me? Right? And then I have a few experiences with him and I'm like, wow, his love is like deeper than anything you could imagine, vastness beyond compare, but it is the perfect balance, perfect balance of where justice and peace kiss.
It is. So it is. It's just so many experiences too, like, you know, throughout your life where you don't realize that he's with you and he is. And then when you think back now, what you do now for a living, what I do for a living, it's like, whoa, like, how come I didn't see that before? Or like, you know, Jacob, my youngest was born, Mike was born, he had like a little angel kiss on his forehead, but Timmy too, they're both amazing. But when Jacob was born, I was going through a bunch of stuff with my marriage and everything. And when he came out, I was praying and praying and praying and begging Jesus to give me a girl because I wanted to be a girl mom. I just always did.
Okay.
Because I never had that kind of relationship with my mom, and she was
Right,
a great
so
person,
you-
but she
you
was taking
want-
care of my father, and it was just like always. And my sister and I never got along either, so I really wanted that. And I prayed and prayed, and then I got pregnant, and I lost it, and then I got pregnant again, and then Jacob came out, and I remember like looking at him, looking down on his face, and I heard the name Jacob in my head, and Peter was like walking back and forth in the room, and I was like talking to him, Jacob, and I was like, "Hi, bud, hi, Jacob," and Pete's like, "Jacob," and I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I don't like that." I'm like, "You're not naming him.
It's too late.
Somebody else
Yeah,
is."
exactly.
So his name is Jacob, and he became Jacob Robert. And then my name,
Wonderful.
Susan, your name, Virginia, was chosen. And then Susan, my name was chosen because my mom got pregnant with me, and she didn't know what she was going to name me. She had my sister Karen. She didn't know what she was going to name me. And my grandmother we lived in a 3-decker, and she went running upstairs and was like, "I had a dream. I think I'm going to name her Susan." And my grandma started crying. And she said, "Why are you crying, Mom?" And she said, "I had a sister Susan that died when she was 3 years old."
Oh.
That's why I got my name. And then
See.
Teresa, I was born on the St. Teresa the flower. Birthday.
Teresa,
October
little
3rd
flower.
was her
Okay.
birthday at that time. So I was born. So my middle name's Teresa. And then I took Marie for my confirmation name, like you did too. So we need that though. Like people nowadays, especially need that. And whether they understand it or not, it's okay. It's gives us a chance to guide them, show them, be present with them in a way that maybe they always have been, but they didn't understand it. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah. So guys, we are going on another break. My name is SuSanity Life. I'm the host here at the SuSanity Life show on Unity Radio 97.9 FM with Ginnie Bonnici from Peaceful Creations. We're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about her journey and how she got to where she's at. And then we're going to talk about her business and what she does and how amazing stuff is for her. And we'll be right back.
Unity Radio. Worcester, we've got you.
Boston and Worcester, get ready for one of the biggest Ghana U.S. business and cultural experiences during the FIFA World Cup season. Join us for the Ghana Worcester Boston Trade and Investment Exchange 2026 happening June 24th and 25th, bringing together government officials, investors, businesses, entrepreneurs, diaspora organizations, and community leaders from Ghana and the United States. Day 1, June 24th at Hyatt Regency Boston. The Ghana Boston Trade and Investment Summit will feature powerful B2B and B2G networking sessions. Special guests include Ghana's ambassador to the United States. Day 2, June 25th, Worcester Common. The energy moves to Worcester for the Ghana Worcester Trade Fair, a free public event filled with food vendors, products, shopping, culture, entertainment, networking, and community engagement. This is where business, culture, diaspora, and opportunity come together. Learn more at heritagetriage.com/events.
Kiva Centers is a leader in peer-led support, recovery, and mental health services, creating spaces where individuals can explore healing, rediscover hope, and embrace the fullness of who they are.
Starting in Worcester, reaching all across Massachusetts, and extending to Las Cruces, New Mexico, Kiva Centers is lighting the path forward through connection, community, and recovery. Learn more at kivacenters.org. That is KIVA Centers.org.
What's up, Worcester? It's your boy AG, better known as Angelo Gray. And you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection.
Welcome back, everybody, to 97.9 FM, Worcester Community Connection, the SuSanity Life show with me, your host, SuSanity Ouellette and Ginnie Bonnici from Peaceful Creations. We were just talking more about how how Jesus works through us in so many different ways. And if you're watching and you're listening, sometimes I think that people don't realize when he's actually present or with something, because I was just telling Ginny that a lot of people come to the clinic, and I was asking her the same thing. And sometimes like I know what they need before they even tell me what they need. And it's like trying to get them to realize different things. And it's the best feeling ever when you know what you know. And so when I met Ginny again at Peaceful Creations, I felt that. And so Ginny was just saying earlier that she didn't have a very easy life, and that was not good. But look at her. Look what she's overcome. She worked in different jobs when you were younger, and then you became a postal person, a postmaster.
Yeah, I came from the field up.
Yeah.
Right.
And so how was that being a postmaster?
It's a 90% male workforce.
Yes.
Also a very difficult job because you have to excel beyond expectation to reach that level.
Yeah.
And I started, the great thing was I started in the field as a carrier, left like within 6 months. The next thing I knew, they fast tracked me. I was in the retail field, and then a year from that. So within 2 years, I had already gone to supervisor. And then I was acting postmaster. When the postmasters were out, they would all call me from various locations.
So was that after you had the kids?
No, before.
So you were married?
Oh, well, I should say that, yeah, there was an agreement. Like when we decided to get married, the funny thing was like, listen, dude, I'm happy to marry you, but you're the one who's going to raise the kids because I have a career. And he wanted that. So it was perfect. It was perfect.
And then he passed.
And then December 17th, 2007 happened. And you want to talk about like God literally teaching me in the moment, right? December 3rd, I get a big brown envelope in the mail. My son has autism. Oh, can we put it on the back burner? I'm a postmaster. We'll deal with it the week between Christmas and New Year. I always take it off. Yep. Okay. Yep. My husband's like, sure, Jen, whatever we'll
Just
deal.
put that on the burner.
We'll come back to that. We'll put a plan in place because that's how my brain works, right? And I'm laughing at myself. And then December 16th, the night before, my snowblower broke. Now I was the person who snowblowed. I went outside, bam, the cotter pin breaks and I slip and the handle hits my bicep and I'm all black and blue.
Oh.
I come in, I tell him, hey, we have to get somebody because I'll have to get out in the morning because I'm usually gone at 4 a.m. during Christmas. Yep. He makes a phone call. He gets somebody come over, some guy he was working with his son's truck to pay off because he was away in Desert Storm. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, grateful. Thank you so much. Don't worry about the walkway. I'll deal with it when I get home from work tomorrow. I'll get the cotter pin and all that stuff. Okay. I come in and my husband looks at me like a gaze that's like across time is the only way I can describe it. And he says to me, I just want you to know that these two were the best Christmas gift you ever could have given me my whole life. Mm. And I look at him and there's my kids watching, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Shiny New Year on the TV, and they're just hugging and loving on each other. And it's just a blissful, wonderful moment, right? And I'm like, I love you too. Do you want me to get you a cup of tea? Like that was like, it goes right over the head, right? I'm cold. I'm tired. I know tomorrow morning I got to start at 3 a.m. Okay, so I take the kids upstairs. I'm going to read them twice the night before Christmas. Everything's wonderful. I fall asleep with him in the bed, get up to go to work, and there he is, kneeling down at the end of the bed, blood running down his eye, gone. I flip him over. I'm in a panic, and I don't think he was completely gone. I flip him over. I start chest compressions. I'm screaming to my 9-year-old because now the police have no way to get into my home. To go open the front door, let the fireman in, not even remembering that the walkway wasn't even, and I'm talking, there was 2 feet of snow. I don't know how anybody got in anywhere. I couldn't tell you that. And then in the moment, I looked at him and I heard, I'll see you at the beach, Virginia. And I'm like, no, 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 this can't be happening. And panic and fear set in. They come up, the EMTs are all taking care of it. I'm downstairs. The EMT was new. He comes up to me and he says, I'm so sorry, I couldn't do anything. In walks Father Moran from St. Anne's Parish. He's devastated. He looks at me because, he knows I have a soon-to-be 7-year-old and we were active parishioners, right? And my daughter's 9. And I'm like, wait, that like in that moment of shock, it's like, wait, it's me. Like, I don't know anything about autism. Like, what am I gonna? And I remember saying, I would give every nail in the house just for 2 seconds to say goodbye and I love you. Like, in that moment, you're taught so much about the preciousness of what we have with each other.
But look what he said to you the night before.
Right, exactly. And I had, thank God,
like
they
knew.
gave it
It's
to
like,
me.
Yeah, it's like he knew, they knew, and they were like, all right,
we're going to deliver this
you need to
here.
deliver this to her before you go.
And it carried me. Like that carried me through, trust me, when I didn't understand autism. And I don't think half the world understood it then. And it was,
yeah.
And now all these years later, my son can speak. He's gainfully employed at Amazon and has been for 5 years. And what day did he get the job on? Mary's Feast Day, August 15th. Like, hello, do you look at your life from God's perspective? Like, he gave you a clue over here, like, are you aware of the holidays? Like, right? And I'm like, oh, thank you, God, for that, and he's learned a great deal, and he's not fully independent, but he's amazing. And then my daughter put herself through college, went to Clark University. I mean, that wasn't even an option. You saw in my bio, that wasn't even an option. I was still working to pay for my siblings, right? Like, that wasn't even an option for me. So for her to even achieve that, and then to go on and work for Harvard and Emerson, between the American Repertoire Theater and the Boston Lyric Opera House, she's kind of busy, but I'm blessed. I feel so blessed. And then along the way, you never think that what you did. So I never thought that the connections I made at the post office was going to help so many, right? And yet here I am talking to Congressman McGovern about, listen, we got to change the laws in Massachusetts. These kids need insurance, and I'm just talking and advocating because I know different people and my connections were different. And look at what we have today versus they had none of that when my son was that age. I mean, right after that diagnosis and the death of my husband, I spent the next 2 years every night in the doctor's office, teaching, learning, training. It was one therapy after another therapy after another therapy. But that 2 years, I was concerned with the neuroplasticity of the brain. So like it wasn't even anything that I could comprehend. But then the icing on the cake came. So let's go back to 2007. And before that whole journey of autism, December 20th, there's a knock on my door. I think it's somebody coming to say, they're sorry. And the woman says, oh, your house is up for foreclosure. Can we come in and see it? I'm like, what? Like, I total shock and panic. So now I have no husband. My son has autism and we have no place to live. And if you don't think there was an, oh God moment, I got on my knee. I closed the door, got on my knees, and I went, oh God, please help me. Like, how much can I take? Like, what is there, right? And when I tell you today, I live in the same house. My son is educated and has a job, and my daughter is a college graduate. I am so blessed by God's grace because only God would have known how to do that.
So what happened with the foreclosure? What was
I sold the house. Ready? You want faith? I sold the house to a girlfriend and paid for it 5 years under her name till I was strong enough to take it back.
Huh?
I sold it to her. I made all the payments. I didn't care. I just said, okay, God, if this is going to give you the ability for Joshua to have consistency in my children, that's the only house they knew him in. It was their memory bank, right?
So did you live in the house with her with the kids?
Yep.
Okay, so it was basically okay. So you
Yeah.
So basically,
Oh yeah, because I was the one running all around. You know, she still stayed in her other home. She did the deal, and I was great. I'm forever grateful for that kindness. And I remember those. I mean, I assure you, probably by December, I remember that Christmas, we were all sitting in our PJs and we wanted nothing to do with it. I mean, and the tradition at my house was, and it was hard that year because we had it. My husband had actually made baby Jesus's birthday cake, and every Christmas we celebrate his birthday, and it was rough.
I bet. Okay, so take a breath. That was deep.
That was deep,
but good.
but good.
So, guys, we are going on our last break, and then we're going to come back and we'll actually talk about where Ginny is now and what she does at Peaceful Creations, and with her sister, actually, who is the co-founder too, who I met, Becky. Hi, Becky. You know you can't be here.
Hi, Becky.
Next time you'll be here. This is Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection, SuSanity Life show. My name is SuSanity Life. I'm the host here. Super excited to be here with Ginnie Bonnici from Peaceful Creations. We'll be right back.
Mr. Telephone Man, there's something wrong with my line. What's up, Worcester? I'm Angela Gray, and you're listening to Unity Radio 97.9, Worcester's Community Connection. When I dial my baby's number, I get a click every time.
Boston and Worcester, get ready for one of the biggest Ghana U.S. business and cultural experiences during the FIFA World Cup season. Join us for the Ghana Worcester Boston Trade and Investment Exchange 2026, happening June 24th and 25th, bringing together government officials, investors, businesses, entrepreneurs, diaspora organizations, and community leaders from Ghana and the United States. Day 1, June 24th at Hyatt Regency Boston. The Ghana Boston Trade and Investment Summit will feature powerful B2B and B2G networking sessions. Special guests include Ghana's ambassador to the United States. Day 2, June 25th, Worcester Common. The energy moves to Worcester for the Ghana Worcester Trade Fair, a free public event filled with food vendors, products, shopping, culture, entertainment, networking, and community engagement. This is where business, culture, diaspora, and opportunity come together. Learn more at heritagetriage.com/events.
Tune into the SuSanity Life with SuSanity Life. And together, we will find our way to a healthier, healing lifestyle by listening to empowering stories of overcoming our struggles. Join me, SuSanity Ouellette, on the SuSanity Life every Wednesday from 5 to 6 on Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection. See you soon.
Life is like a roller coaster. It has its high and low moments, zooming through our lives. Sometimes we feel excited and full of joy, and other times we feel numb to the world around us. Low moments are a part of life. They help us cherish the good times. That's why it's important to reach out when life's lows stop us in our tracks. Connect with someone now. Call 211 or text 988.
You're listening to Unity 97.9 FM, WUTY, Worcester.
So welcome back to Unity Radio 97.9 FM, Worcester's Community Connection, the SuSanity Life show with me, SuSanity Life, the host, and Ginnie Bonnici from Peaceful Creations. She was just telling you her story about how Jesus fills her soul and her mind and her body all the time, and he talks to her. And Man, it's such a good feeling when you're around people like this. Like, I just can't even get enough of this feeling. Like, I just can't, whether it's at my clinic or her clinic or in church or with friends or outside, or like I was at a concert at Kid Rock this weekend, same thing. I'm around with these amazing people, and it just felt so good to be surrounded by people that understand the grace of God. It just did. And it always does, right? And so now we're going to talk a little bit about what happened to her. So during COVID, I was in school for massage and polarity and things like that, and ended up opening my place in 2020. Found Ginny at Peaceful Creations with Bonnie, and she opened Peaceful Creations. What year did you open Peaceful Creations?
So we were individually in the room in 2018.
2018. Okay.
And the way it happens is, and we had opened during Holy Week, and that's kind of important later on, but less than a year, we had outgrown the capacity of a single room.
Mm-hmm.
And Becky kept saying to me, hey, you know, there's this place over at 382 Boston Turnpike. I'm like, we're not moving. We're not moving. We're absolutely not moving. Right? Like, that was my only line thought. No, we're not moving. And
we're not moving. We're staying right here.
Right. And then all of a sudden, you know, she's going up to get an adjustment at the chiropractor, and it's a Wednesday.
Oh, Dr. Duca.
Dr. Duca. Yeah. And I had a full list of clients. That Wednesday morning, every client canceled. And my phone goes off. And I'm like, Becky? I said, you know, all my clients canceled. She said, oh, that's so funny because I'm up at 382 Boston Turnpike. Why don't you come up? Because the landlord's here and he can show us the place. And she said, by the way, it's Suite 102, which is a 3 for the Holy Trinity. And the angel I work with, it's called Titus Construction. I'm like, wait, what? No, I'm not. We're not moving during Holy Week. We're not. I'm very busy. Like that was
very busy.
Very busy.
You know, my clients
I'm
canceled.
busy with the church. I have a million things I do for the church that no. Right. So I get in my car, and it's actually closer to my house than it was to the other location. I'm driving up. I'm like, Jesus, I need to understand. You know, you need to make it perfectly clear to me when I get there that you want us to move during Holy Week. Because no was the only answer. It was like a little kid having a temper tantrum fit, right?
We were just talking about that on the break. How I had my temper tantrum. So funny.
So I pull into the parking spot. I get out of the car. I come up the back steps, and I'm like, she's like, ready? You ready to see it? I said, wait a minute. We have to make an agreement. If we open this door and it's not right, we're not moving. She's like, okay. She opens the door, and right there on the wall to the left is a beautiful picture of Jesus in this construction office. And it's a more modern picture of him made by an 8-year-old, Akiano.
Oh, Akiana.
And I went, oh,
she drew that when she was 8 years old. Yes.
And
oh
I
went,
okay. I bowed my head. I said, I'm sorry. Yes, we're moving during Holy Week. So we moved in there. You know, they had to prep the whole place, but finally the doors opened May of 2019.
Okay.
And it was just, and then all of a sudden things came. Somebody was closing an office and we got chairs for free. Somebody gave us, you know, different religious scripts, a Hindu script, a Torah, all of it came, just like showed up. Somebody brought back from Egypt papyrus from the Giza plateau, like 2 of them. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is like, so we had everything we needed. It was provided for, right? And then all of a sudden, and there was, at the time, there was a hypnotherapist, me and Becky. And we're like, okay, so we're there and we're going to get ready to sign papers, right? Like, we're going to make this more official. We're going to do it. Okay. So I'm sitting there with her and I hear, you can't sign the paperwork. It says sole proprietor. Spirit guides me, right? I'm like, wait, what? So I look at the attorney. I go, does that say sole proprietor? Says yes. I said, oh, we can't sign it. because nobody owns God's energy, right? Like that's in the back of my head, right? It's all
Did you
about
say
God.
that?
I didn't say that to him, right? But I'm hearing that. I'm hearing that in the back of my head, right? Like nobody owns God. Like that's just the way it works.
Yeah.
God is divine. You don't own him. Period. Get out of it, right?
Mhm.
But I didn't understand because I heard the next thing I heard was ask about a collaborative, and I knew nothing about collaboratives.
Yeah.
So he says, "Oh yeah, we can make it a collaborative." I said, "Really?"
What's a collaborative?
So it was interesting how it worked out because a collaborative means a shared space, but you do not take any other practitioner's identity from them.
Yeah.
So like you have your place in service, right?
Yeah.
And what's it called?
SuSanity.
And you could come to Peaceful Creation, still be SuSanity, working out of, and we share the space. There's 3 practitioner rooms, and you have a main room that to do larger classes. We've had so many different types of classes. We've had even, David Young came. He was amazing. His flutes were like,
Oh, I know who that is.
Yes.
David Young.
yes, he came to our
Okay,
location,
yeah,
and
I've heard him
and we've
play.
had Eric Linter, and we've had so many different people come to also use the main room besides the practitioner rooms, right?
Mm.
And then we have people who, on foot. We didn't know this, but in 2019 later, all of a sudden you start hearing about COVID.
Mm.
I never understood until COVID hit why. Because right after that December, we started getting phone calls from healers that were like, I was in massage school, I was in acupuncture school, I was in Marconic school. And what happened? They were all not going to be able to sustain.
Mhm.
We're like, that can't happen. Oh, no, please come. Like if you had hours to finish a license, right? Like we had someone who needed a room, we would gift it and say, okay, you can use the room for this day from these hours, and we'll gift it to you so you can finish getting your certificates or
Yeah,
whatever was needed, never understanding that there was going to be such a great need.
It's getting bigger and bigger.
And it's beautiful. Like,
Mhm.
but the other beautiful part of that was, if you can imagine, for me and for Becky, who God bless us both, I always say she's like the other side of my coin, right? Like I always talk about angels that way, like Archangel Michael's other side would be faith, right? When I think about Becky, she's the other side of me,
Mm.
right? Like, and the two of us together are blessed to have each other. But can you imagine in a group how much better it is that you have something come up and somebody else can cover, and you don't have the stress of holding the whole ship up alone.
Mhm.
That's what's beautiful about Peaceful Creations Collaborative.
That's amazing.
It is,
Yeah.
because you have to be faithful, not and trusting to allow others to come in and not feel threatened or intimidated by what they can do. It is an absolute act of faith.
Huge act of faith.
Exactly. And to say,
Hmm.
please come in, we'd be happy to work with you or assist you. The space is available, and we have a scheduling system that tells them what rooms are open or closed, and here you go.
There's all kind of groups coming up and things like that. So
Oh.
people can find you at, how can they find you?
At www.peacefulcreations333.com, because I had to have the threes in there, right?
It's okay. That's
Or
where
they
you can
can call
find,
me.
yeah, you can call her. That's where you can find all her information. And there's all kinds of groups all the time, and it's all advertised on her page. She's on Facebook too.
Facebook,
Peaceful
Peaceful
Creations.
Creations, Facebook,
Instagram.
Instagram.
Peaceful Creations.
You know, generally we have something going out every week out of Facebook. And we have a women's group weekly on Wednesdays that we find that there's so much more of a need, especially in the grief area, that we've just said, come on in, like that
And
whole
what time is that
thing.
on Wednesdays?
Wednesdays at 4
Mm.
to 5, we do that. And then, we currently are doing some specials for the spring for detoxing, because right now that ionization treatment is like everything with the pollen and the allergies, and even the air candling because the ears, nose, and throats are blocked. All the things that I ended up learning about.
Yeah, I haven't done that yet.
For
That's
my
next
son.
for me. That air candling. That's what's next.
And I mean, we had 2 people who fell backwards. And the first thing we noticed when they came in, they were feeling vertigo and dizzy, and the air candling.
That's why when I had
solved it.
that foot detox with you, I was like, oh my God, I have to have another one of those too. But it was awesome. So guys, I'm so excited to be here with Ginny, and I hope you guys look her up on Peaceful Creations, and thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sure that you can find a lot of things that you need on her page, and I'm just so grateful that she came. So this is Unity Radio 97.9 FM with Community Connection. My name is Susan Teal. I'm the host here at SuSanity Life Show and the owner of SuSanity Holistic Health and Wellness in Sturbridge. My website is SuSanityLife.com if you're looking for me. And if you want to be a guest on here, don't feel free to reach out and let us know if you want to tell your story. And stories tend to help people heal in different ways, right? Real voices, real life, real stories. So we would love to have you on. Let us know. And I hope you guys have a great week. Take care. Bye.